Hey, what's up, you guys? My name is Lala, and I'm back with another pro hooper. I'm with Buddha.
What's up, y'all?
Can you tell everybody about a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, my name is Buddha Boyd. My real government name is Larry Donnell Boyd. Uh, from Killeen, Texas. You know what I'm saying? I always represent these Longhorns. And I'm currently living in Los Angeles, California. I'm 40 years old. I know I don't look like it, but yes, I'm is 40 years old.
Okay, so before we get into the interview process, we're gonna watch actually a few clips about Buddha and the type of person he is, the type of player he is. We're gonna play a clip that was on the news that featured Buddha. And can you tell us a little bit about this clip that we're about to watch?
Yeah, just real quick, man. It's just pretty much to give you a basic story of like a little bit about who I am and what I've been through, and then of course I'll explain more later.
All right, cool. Let's get into it.
Game. So imagine the surprise at Maricosta College when a 34-year-old man became the star of his team.
In tonight's Zevely Zone, Jeff travels to Oceanside to meet the 6'4" Spartan who goes by the nickname Buddha.
I think we've all been a little disappointed by El Nino this year, but here at Maricosta College, it's been raining threes all year long. His highlight reel is so incredibly impressive, I decided somebody had to guard this guy. Oh, that's a steal! By basketball standards, you're watching two old men play one-on-one. Because Larry Buddha Boyd is 34 years old.
I just started believing in myself.
Buddha served in the Air Force for 10 years, but never gave up on his hoop dreams. The problem was his weight ballooned to 270 pounds from eating too much.
Pizza, a lot of pizza,
and
some more pizza. Yeah.
Buddha lost 50 pounds, and one night when he was hitting shot after shot, the crowd started chanting a nickname that stuck.
Every time I scored, the crowd was just like, Buddha, Buddha.
Watching Buddha's game can be a spiritual experience. I mean, what were the odds a 34-year-old would make the all-state team?
The odds are not good, but it's a great story.
Maricosta's basketball coach, Pat Conahan.
He had a dream to play college basketball, and he was so excited to know that he was going to get a chance to do that.
In California, there is no age limit to play sports at a community college, which means old school is still welcome.
Nice form, nice.
I don't want to.
Yeah, I like it.
I don't want to knock your teeth out. Buddha was a firefighter in the military and sure knew how to extinguish my game. So we worked on his, because just days from now, he has a tryout to play professionally overseas. And with the camera rolling, Buddha awakened to hit 10 threes in a row. I thought that death and taxes were the only two for sure things in this world, but now we need to add Buddha Boyd to the list. Jeff Zevely, CBS News 8.
Oh, look like I dunked it.
Yeah. So, how do we want to do this? Do we want to? Yeah, okay. Go ahead and you know what? No, we're gonna start from the beginning.
Yeah, thanks for playing that though.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah.
So, actually, let's just play all your clips, and then you can explain that. So, after this clip, we'll get into everything. After these two clips, we'll get into everything.
Okay.
We just get all the clips out the way. Easy. Okay, so the next clip is TCL. So can you explain a little bit of? Oh, okay. First of all, the clip that we just watched, how long ago was that, and where was it?
Oh yeah, that was 6 years ago. After I got out of the military, I found out I had college eligibility. I didn't really have a plan when I decided to get out of the military. I just knew I wanted to do what I love to do, which was basketball. I had a belief in myself, and all the times that I got to 30 years old, I had been living for other people. And finally, I got to a point where I was like, you know what, I'm going to do what's best for me, what I want to do, what's in my heart, what I desire, and which was basketball. So basketball led me all the way out to California, which led me to Coach Conahan. He saw me playing at Camp Pendleton, the Marine base over there in Oceanside. And he got my information, did some research, found out I had 4 years of eligibility. He let me know, and I came for a visit the following weekend, and he showed me the beach, and yeah, I was hooked. I was in love.
Yeah, Oceanside Beach is beautiful. Okay, so going into the next clip,
Crew League.
the Crew League. How long ago was this clip?
This was 2 years ago, I want to say, season 3. Yeah, just being part of basketball and just networking, and it was surprising to me to see where basketball was taking me outside of wanting to be a professional basketball player.
So this is 4 years after the news broadcast about you. Right?
Correct.
So let's get into this one.
No, not Samoan.
6'9", Buddha boy.
Damon outside, Austin guarding him.
Oh, good pass. Was that Barney?
Shot is good.
Venom is going in their favor. Kill 6'9". Oh yeah, he's gonna work Barney. Come on. He gonna work Barney. Oh, he not though. Hold on, he didn't.
Blocked. Bell takes it.
Ken.
Oh, no good. Can't get the bounce. Buddha Boyd heading the other way.
Sounds like Chris Brown.
Wow. 18-20.
Yo, he just crossed out the entire team. That was nasty.
This game just got really
I was out of
interesting.
shape.
All right, so that was that clip with TCO. So can you explain real quick what the Crew League is and how did you get involved with this?
I believe the Crew League is, I can't really say what it is. I was just surprised I was in that space. I think Chris Brown is part of the production. Like I think he's got kind of like the vision or the idea. Don't quote me on that. But yeah, I've seen him in every season.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I was just surprised, like the space that I was in, just being around celebrities. And, you know, I've always had like this difficulty of having confidence in myself and believing in myself. You know, it took me till 30 years old until I started believing in myself. So just being in that space, like I had a sense of belonging. It helped my confidence out.
Mm-hmm.
You know, people were giving me love and acknowledgement. You know, man, your hair is dope, bro. That was a dope move that you did. Your Euro was like the highlight of the night.
Mm-hmm.
So it just gave me a lot of confidence that I needed for myself, and it gave me a sense of belonging around, you know, those people that were in that space. You know, Chris Brown and who else was there? And Ellie Choppa. You know, that was my team captain. Who else was there? Hezzy guy was over there. Royce White, Frank Nitti. Man, it was, yeah, it just blew my mind just seeing everybody that was over there.
That's what's up. I just kind of Googled about it. So the Crew League it belongs to Diddy. Diddy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Diddy's the head of it, and so
Shout out to Diddy.
yeah, they take basically celebrities will be the team captain, and then they choose their teams, and their teams are whether the celebrities play basketball for real or not. They choose actual hoopers to come and compete, and they go at it, and they have these physical games, and was it streamed or was it on TV?
It was streamed, and then you can find the series on YouTube.
YouTube, yeah.
Yeah, my motivation was $250,000. That's all my eyes were set on. So
the winning team gets $250K.
Yeah. So that's why
everyone's playing so hard.
Yeah.
And it says celebrities like Chris Brown, people you mentioned, also Sway Lee, Jack Harlow, Russ, Lil Mosey, Lil Key, G Herbo, The Kid Leroy, DBG.
Just to name a few.
Yeah, have signed on with their crews for the series, which will debut February 19th. So that's for the next one coming up. But there's also other celebrities as well that have been involved in that. So what was your experience like being around all those cameras and the celebrity lifestyle and you just being a hooper and then not having to kind of do what you got to do, like play and get used to the celebrity lifestyle that's right next to you, the recording and things like that?
Well, first I was thankful, thankful to God for definitely getting me in that space. He put basketball in my heart for a reason, and when I just started to believe and have faith, he's been blessing me. And so I just really felt blessed to be around all those great people. That's pretty much just what I took out of it. It's just like, it was just more confidence for me, a sense of belonging in that space around those people. It was a great learning experience for me. Just seeing like how people interact and how they communicate. These people have they got money in their pockets, so they talk a little different than the people that I associate with. So just found myself in a great space to be able to network with people. So
that's dope. And speaking of networking, you also have experience playing with like Hoop Bus and the Venice Ball and things like that. So we're gonna watch a little clip, which I don't think it's not with the Hoop Bus. It's with the 3-on-3.
Yeah, there was our 3-on-3 Red Bull competition going. 3-on-3 is real big right now, and my boy Nico from Venice Beach, he's heavily involved in it. Yeah, so he's always trying to put a team in there, trying to get us to go to nationals so we can represent the United States and in the FIBA tournament.
So let's watch this quick clip.
Shout out to my boy Voice. Sport mouthpiece.
Good job, G. Let's go!
Well, that was slower than I anticipated. But y'all get the picture. Oh, well, we've been trying to get the stuff together, and it's really just the streaming site that kind of slows videos down. But so that was 3 visuals that you get of Buddha and his life, his lifestyle in the past six years, and how far you've come, which is really big. So now that we have a huge visual of who you are and where you've been, let's start from the beginning and get to know little Buddha. So from childhood, let's talk about basketball. When was the first time you were interested in basketball, and when did you start to take it serious?
First time I was interested in basketball, man, there's a big gap in between those two. But the first time I was interested in basketball, I want to say is my 5th grade year. My 5th grade teacher, Mr. Durhammer, the dope dude, man. My man is from Iowa. Came down to Killeen, Texas, and was teaching at my school, Hay Branch Elementary. And for recess, he would take us out to the basketball courts. And the goals, they were low. And he was the only one that could dunk. So we would all be out there running around trying to like score and stuff. And then just seeing him dunking and stuff like that, it was just like, whoa, that's what I want to do one day, you know. But I wasn't that talented at the time. So, you know, I was really good at football at that age. So football was like really in my heart at that time. When I started taking it serious, I want to say middle school, my 7th grade year. I would walk to school and I would see guys playing before classes would start outside in the backyard. I mean, outside behind the school. And it'd be like 20, 30 kids around the court, like everybody trying to play. And classes are about to start. And I started noticing like these kids, like they were showing up like 2 hours before school was supposed to start.
Man, that's a dedication.
Yeah, they would be out there at 6 o'clock in the morning, like hooping. First class starts at 8 o'clock. So I started finding myself coming early in the morning, trying to get those early runs in. And that's when I started taking it a little bit more serious.
That's what's up. Growing up, what was that like in your household? Did you grow up with any siblings? And were you raised by a 2-parent household? Or one?
Yeah. So I had a 2-parent household. My father wasn't in my life, but I was blessed enough to have a great stepdad. My mother was Korean. My stepfather was Puerto Rican. So they were 2 foreign.
And your biological dad?
Yeah, my biological father. He's African American. Let's see. Growing up in my parents' house, I think with them being foreign, they probably more than likely experienced struggles growing up. So I'm assuming they didn't want my little brother, and myself feeling any type of struggle. So they were constantly working. Even my mother, she was working 3 bingo jobs. My stepfather was, if you don't mind, I'm just gonna call him my father. Like that, he's my dad.
Yeah.
My dad, he was Army Reserve, and he was also working at a National Prison Guard. So he was constantly working as well. So me playing sports for fun, like it was cool, but to like play seriously, I wasn't gonna be able to commit. I wasn't gonna be able to stay after school and stay for practice. They needed me to come to the house and watch my little brother. So I couldn't even really tap in with any sport, football or basketball at that time.
What age was this?
7th grade, I want to say 13. And then 8th grade was my first year I was able to play. I did have an opportunity when I was in 4th grade to play basketball. My father took me to the Boys and Girls Club. Excuse me. And we tried to sign up for football, but they said that I was 2 weeks late. But basketball was getting ready to start, and if I wanted to play, I could sign up for that. And my father looked at me, and I was like, I was so hurt. I was like,
"Aw."
Yeah, but yeah, basketball wasn't even that big to me then, 4th grade. So Football.
That if it wasn't for football starting, it wasn't for you being late, you would have never started basketball then. Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so going into high school.
Going into high school.
You tried for the team. How was that?
Yep, I tried out for the team. I was surprised because I ended up making the A team.
What's that mean?
It's like we were at a ninth grade center. Killeen was starting to get really big. So they started building like these like little expansion schools to like make more room at the high school, because it's like 9th to 12th at the high school. So now they made it 10th to 12th and a low ninth grade center. So all the other middle schools were coming together at this ninth grade. I'm already having confidence issues. 8th grade was my first year playing. I'm like, man, I'm gonna try out for this team and see what happened. But it's like all the good kids were coming from all the other middle schools. So I just did my best and I ended up making the A team.
Is it just an A team and a B team, or
yeah, there's an A team and a B team. And
so it's like a varsity for the freshmen class.
Correct. So I ended up making like the varsity freshman team, which surprised the beep out of me.
We understood that.
I was trying to figure it out.
Yeah, no, it's okay. You can say it's how it is. So what was that? Your first year playing high school basketball? What was that experience like?
Ninth grade, 8th grade was cool. I ain't gonna lie. It's funny because like the good coaches, they have an effect on you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm trying to remember my 8th grade coach's name. I remember what he looked like, but yeah. I definitely didn't have no respect for him. 9th grade, my freshman year, this first year I got to play with Coach Bobbitt. He was well known in Killeen. He played at Killeen High School. He was the alumni. So they had a lot of respect for this guy, and he demanded respect, So I was very nervous and very shocked with like the way he just like demanded so much out of people, out of his players. And I could see like it was making me better, So in a sense, it's what I needed because I didn't have confidence in myself. I didn't believe in myself. So I was a follower at the time. I needed guidance. And he was the first guy that I respected in the basketball world. So I don't know. It was weird to me because these were all new feelings and emotions that I wasn't aware of. And I was just hungry at that time. I just wanted more.
You mentioned that you didn't really have the confidence at that age. Do you know where the lack of confidence came from, or where it derived from at such a young age?
Yeah, I do. I've never received any professional help or anything. These are just off of my own experiences. But I really do feel like I love my parents to death. But I think the lack of support from them definitely deteriorated my confidence, or slowed down my confidence. Not deteriorated, just slowed it down.
Yeah, sometimes, well, not even sometimes, people need support and that reassurance, especially from your parents, to push harder and just know that they're doing the right thing. So you kind of just had to be your own cheerleader at those times.
Yeah. I really feel like, as far as like, if it's a kid, like you gotta let them experience things. Like they really want to do something, like just let them do it. Like let them go out there, no matter if they might get hurt, no matter if you don't see the light at the end of the tunnel. You know what I mean? It's not about you. Your kid or the child needs these experiences. They need to feel whatever it is that they feel. They need to go through these. Like even if they fail, they might find out something about themselves. Like, dang, I want to get better at this. You know, like, even if they fail, they might want to come back and come back stronger. You know, but if they never try, they'll never know.
True. Every loss is a lesson. And I think the younger you learn that, the better you are off in life. Because I think parents, parents been through it, so they know, okay, that's not going to work. That's not a good idea. You're not going to do that. But then the child, grows up wondering, what if I did do that? What if I could have did that? And then it's kind of like resentment with the parent thing. So it's just better just to let the child to discover things on their own and experience whether something's for them or not.
Right.
I agree with you with that. Going from 10th through 12th, so what was your whole high school experience like with basketball?
High school and basketball was my high. That's what like really started grabbing my heart. That's what really started to make me want to play basketball more than football. Just being around team, those bus trips, going to and coming back. Great memories, man. Those high school guys. I feel like I could have had a deeper connection with my high school friends and my high school teammates. Mm-hmm. But it was my first time really being involved in like organized basketball in high school. So, I had a wall from being at home. Our family, we didn't really talk about, our issues and our problems. So I didn't really share it with my teammates. Mm-hmm. And I think there was like a divide between my teammates and myself growing up, which is cool. You know what I'm saying? I've accepted my journey and, I accepted why God made me the way that I am. But I definitely can see that, like, looking back, it's affected me. It still has an effect on me till today.
So was your high school team, how do you guys do competing together?
We were good, man. I mean,
all 4 years?
Yeah, man. Coach Bobbitt, it's funny, after we were done with our freshman year, he ended up getting a job at the high school as the JV coach. So he was with us all 4 years. So it was nice having him all 4 years of my high school career.
Okay, so your senior year, you're playing basketball, and usually this is when athletes are thinking about college and scholarships and things like that. What was Buddha thinking about at this age?
Yeah, I was thinking about college, man. I started, like I said, my senior year, my confidence was like at a really good place. Didn't really need the support I got myself to this point. Mm-hmm. Just off of, well, I didn't get myself there. I want to give a big shout out to Coach Bobbitt, of course, and my teammates. They definitely helped and pushed me to be a better player. But yeah, my senior year, I was excited about it. I was excited about our team. And we made some noise. Man, it was wild to me because I ended up getting MVP.
Senior year?
Yeah. I got a co-MVP with another teammate of mine, Lamar Hunter. Yeah, my senior year was pretty dope.
So after you graduated, then what?
I wanted to keep playing basketball. So I went to a junior college that was real close to my hometown and tried out for the team. And this was the first time I didn't make a team that I tried out for.
That had to hurt.
Yeah, I was lost. I didn't know where to go. I didn't know what to do. I ended up dropping out of that junior college. And because education, school was never like really a thing for me. So when you took basketball away, the education part, I wasn't motivated.
So you found out you didn't make the team, and you're kind of not even kind of you were hurt by it. It was kind of like a shock because you weren't ever denied basketball. Your first time being denied basketball. What did you do?
I started hanging out with a group of my friends. I found myself like finding a job here and there, but never really found a sense of fulfillment. You know, I would find myself getting bored eventually and wanting to quit, or finding a reason not to show up to work just so I can go play basketball. So my heart was still with basketball. I'll be playing as much as I can throughout the day.
Mm-hmm.
And then I started getting into like arguments with my father. Just not really doing anything, not being productive. I still had like, my heart was like happy, but I didn't have any sense of fulfillment. Like my heart was happy because I was playing basketball,
Mm-hmm.
but I didn't have any direction. I didn't know where to get direction from. I didn't know where to get guidance from.
So you were satisfied yet stagnant. And what ages was this?
18 to 20.
18 to 20.
Yeah,
So now you're 20 years old and something comes up where your life you choose what route you want to go, and what happens at 20?
My father and I are just like getting into like more heated arguments. And then I took it upon myself to just go ahead and go to the Air Force recruiter and sign up for the Air Force.
What made you choose the Air Force out of all the other branches?
My father told me he was Army Reserve.
Mm-hmm.
And he was experienced in the military field, so he told me if I ever wanted to join the Air Force.
Join the Air Force. Okay. So now we're level 3 of your life. It was childhood, it was high school, and now you're an adult and you're making adult decisions. And you choose to go to the Air Force. What was the first year like? I know there's like PT and things like that. Was there anything that was kind of like a shocker to you, or something that you remember that just had a really big impact that you weren't kind of ready for yet?
Yeah, with the military, it just gave you a sense of direction. It gave you structure. You know, I was waking up just doing whatever I wanted for 2 years. Now it's like, you got to be here, you got PT in the morning, breakfast, you got to do this. So it was just like structure. Yeah, that's what I got out of it.
Well, what did you do? What was your job in the?
Oh yeah, I ended up getting I wanted to work at the gym, so that was my first job, was services, working at a gym. I didn't know at the time. Huh?
What city were you in?
I was in Killeen, Texas. This is like my whole process. I had signed up. This is what I signed up for. Yeah, when I signed up, and we went to MEPS. Before I went to basic training, like I had signed up to be part of services because I wanted to work inside of the gym. At the time, I didn't know services also included like the chow hall, some other places all mixed into one. Mm-hmm. But then there was a recruiter there at MEPS, and he taught me into firefighting. Mm. So that's why I chose firefighting, and I did it for all 10 years that I was in the Air Force.
Wow.
Yeah.
What was the training like? So I know when people think about the military or any branch, it's like, oh, for me, for one, I don't know much about it, but when I think about the military, I think about like just like you say, structure and people yelling in your face and PT and like boot camps and the sound in the morning, like that, and like small beds and just I don't know. I think of like crucial workouts and also like the jobs and things too. But I didn't know that there was like a whole community within like the military to where people actually like have jobs just like the regular world, but they're in their own little community.
Right.
That was new for me to learn.
Mm-hmm.
So you're a firefighter for 10 years, but you were still able to play basketball somehow. How is that?
Well, just like you said, like it's a community, like a base is like its own community, and every base had like a varsity basketball team. So yeah,
You're still in Texas?
My first basic training was in Texas. And then they send you to tech school, which is they train you for your job, whichever job that you sign up for. Mine was firefighting, so my firefighting school was in San Angelo, Texas. And then while I was there, I got my first assignment, which was Anchorage, Alaska, Elmendorf Air Force Base in Alaska.
And were you the same size that you are now, or
what? Same size?
Were you the same size that you are now? Or you same weight? Because I remember in the video you were a bigger dude. So was this like bigger Buddha, or did you already lose the weight in like PT or something like that?
No. I was still good. Got to my first base, I was still solid. I gained the weight after my second marriage.
Okay.
Well, during my second marriage. Yeah.
Okay. So you go to Alaska and you're how old? 21, 22?
Yeah, I'm like 21, 22. I get married to my daughter's mother. I met her while I was at tech school in San Angelo. And then we get married because she was supposed to go to Florida. Mm-hmm. She had her orders to go to Florida. But since we got married, she was able to change her orders and we got joint orders. So she had to come to Alaska with me.
So you met her in the Air Force, fell in love, and decided to get married so you guys can be together and work together in the same
base
in
Alaska.
What was Alaska like?
Alaska was not what I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be igloos, ice, polar bears. Yeah, just all that. And then I got there in April and the snow was melting. So you saw grass, the sun was coming out. Saw moose. Mooses are big as hell.
Are they, is it like a modern type, the city that you're in, was it like a modern city, or you can tell like, okay, I'm in like an older type city?
You'd be surprised. 200 Anchorage, Alaska, it's not the capital. It's a city though. There's like 200,000 people there. Probably more now. The base was huge. It was connected to an army base as well, Fort Richardson. And there's a lot of things to do there. Like, yeah, I was definitely, my first summer there was probably the best summer I could ever have there because I was just so surprised, like how green the grass was. It was like 80s. And then basketball was like very big there. All year round, they play basketball.
Wow. That's exactly where you would want to be, huh?
Oh, yeah. Stayed in shape.
Yeah. So you were in Alaska with your wife for how long?
3.5 years.
3.5 years. Wow. So what happened after that? How do you get, I guess, a new, what is it called, assignment or?
Yeah, my next orders.
Orders, yeah. How'd that come up? And do they warn you before they tell you?
Yeah. I think Alaska was a 3-year tour. So when I got my orders, I knew I was supposed to be there for 3 years.
Okay.
And then I knew some orders were going to be coming. And then this is like after I got my first divorce, I was supposed to go to Maryland and she had already got orders to New Mexico. And after being away from my daughter for a month, I couldn't do it anymore. So I talked to my higher command and I asked them if they could get me close to my daughter. And I think it was like 2 weeks later, they called me in and said, we got some good news and bad news. I was like, what's the good news? And it's like, we got you close to your daughter. It's like, what's the bad news? And it's like, it's the same base as your ex-wife. I was like, what? It's no big deal.
Mhm.
But yeah, and that's how I ended up in Cannon Air Force Base in Clovis, New Mexico.
So you guys just did the co-parenting thing, and you're still able to see your daughter. So you got what you wanted, basically. It wasn't a big deal that you were in the same base.
No, it wasn't a big deal. I mean, at the time though, we were still fresh off our, divorce, so it was still up and down. But that's a whole nother subject.
Yeah. So you were in Mexico, or you said New Mexico?
New Mexico.
New Mexico. And how long were your? What's it called? Your orders? How long was the stay?
Stateside, they don't give you a certain amount of time that you're supposed to be there. So you can be there for a year, or you could be there 10 years. It's all up to where the demand is and if they want to send you. So I was there for 3 years, and then I got sent to Korea.
You were there for 3 years, and you got sent to Korea. Did you play basketball there too?
In New Mexico?
Yep.
Yes, we had a base team.
And which would you say was better? Which team, Alaska or New Mexico?
The Alaska team was definitely better than my New Mexico team.
Okay. Did you increase your game in any way, or did you learn anything new about yourself or about basketball? Did anything change about your game?
Yeah, my game got a lot better. It got a lot better in Alaska because of the confidence. Just seeing other people from other states and different areas, and then just seeing like the brand of basketball that I grew up knowing and know how to play. It was better than other people's brands. So it helped my confidence out a lot because I ended up being from a role player to the best player on the team. And then New Mexico, I got even better in New Mexico because there was a player there that was better than me, Emmanuel Daniels, left-handed. He was from Texas too. I wanted to guard him every single day. Every time I had a chance to guard him, I wanted to guard him. When we were on the court together, though, it was really hard to beat us. But I wanted to play against him. I wanted to beat him. I wanted to get better than him. I didn't like that he was better than me. Of course, if anybody would ask me, I would be like, "Nah, I smoked that motherfucker." But
yeah,
if I had to be real, like he had my number.
So when you guys, let's go back to New Mexico and your job, firefighting. Did you have any like serious situations with this job, or was it kind of just chill for you?
I didn't really have any like serious situations with them. It would just be, New Mexico was real cool. I ain't gonna front. The fire department in New Mexico was real cool. Now the ones in Korea, Korea were right there, right next to North Korea. So now I'm thinking about it, like they're like very more serious, more gun ho about their jobs over there, about the mission. So that was like the only really problem I had with like Alaska and New Mexico was I was trying to try out for the All Air Force team, and they were so worried about my upgrade training. So they were like, "No, you can't go. You got to finish your upgrade training. You can't go to the All Air Force tryouts. You got to finish your upgrade training." And then I get to Korea. I already had my upgrade training. They let me go. But whenever I wanted to go to like local tournaments, like for the weekend with my base team, they were getting tired of me going. And I truly believe it was from the like command calls. Like we would have like the whole base show up, and when we would play like just free pickup ball on the base basketball gym, officers would come and play with us also. They just like playing basketball, and there's no rank with us basketball players. When we hooping, like we all hoop. I'm gonna respect your game if you nice, Nobody cares what my rank is. And then when we get to these big old command calls, I believe like my chief and them will like see me talking to these officers and like would feel some type of way. Like, was it this airman just talking to these high ranking officers? And I guess they would feel some type of way. So then all of a sudden I can't like label it because I didn't know what they were saying, but that's what it felt like. And then it would come to like, sometimes I would have a tournament for the weekend. I would request for some time off, and they're like, you're going too many times. The mission comes first. We feel like you're putting basketball before the mission. And I'm like, man, where's all this coming from? Like, it's not even that serious. I just really love playing basketball. And I don't even think they saw it like that, And how could they? They never came to a basketball game, So yeah, it was a little tough for my morale over there in Korea.
I was going to ask, did you receive any support from any friends or people that you've met while you were there? Did they ever come and support your basketball games?
I feel like my game did all the talking for me. Like, that's when I first got my nickname, Buddha, when I was over there. So people saw my game, people loved my game, people respected it. And then, whenever you would talk to me after the game, like they would see what type of person I was. So,
So how long were you there in Korea?
I was there for 3 years.
3.5 years. So, okay, that's 9. What happened after that?
I mean, I was coming up on my 10th year, and it was coming up to a point where I had to make a decision if I was going to re-enlist or not. And then I had 3 stripes at the time. And
what does that mean?
I was a E4. I was a senior airman. And in order to re-enlist after 10 years, you have to be at least 4 stripes. Right? So I was really coming up to that 10-year mark. And I told myself, like, either you're going to do 20 years or you're going to get out and you're going to do something about it. So I was like in a tough place. What do they call it? A midlife crisis. I was in a midlife crisis.
How old were you?
I was 29, 30, somewhere around there. Trying to figure out, like, is this really what I want to do? And so yeah, I pretty much like pushed everybody away, and I was like in my room most of the time by myself. And I remember a night that I had, I was smoking that spice. And I had like an episode, and I dozed off, and I had this vivid dream of me in a basketball jersey, and I had my name on the back. It was Buddha, and then the crowd was around me, and they were screaming my name, and it felt so real. Like I was there at this game, and people were like cheering my name. And then I woke up. I was like, what? And then I heard God for the first time. He's like, do you hear me now?
Wow.
Yeah. And all my life, I grew up in a Black neighborhood. So I went with my friends to their churches, and they all like, God spoke to me. God told me to tell you this.
Yeah.
I feel the Holy Spirit. The Holy Ghost is in me. And I'm just like, I don't hear this nigga. I don't hear them. What y'all talking about?
Right.
And then here it is. I'm 29 years old, and I hear this voice. And the first time God speaks to me, He says, "Do you hear me now?" And I'm like, "All right." And instantly, I started believing, and I went from 280 pounds to 215. And then I was still dealing with the decision of, do I want to re-enlist? I need to focus on making staff so I can stay in, or do I want to get out and do something? And then as I'm going through this midlife crisis, you know, I'm focusing on me. I'm still miserable. Like,
How long were you going through this midlife crisis?
it was a good 7 months of just going through my emotions and my feelings.
And this is when you were still in the Air Force?
Yeah, this is still while I'm still in the Air Force, but at this time is like when I'm starting to like figure myself out. I'm starting to work out. So there's like a balance there. Like I'm upset, but I'm feeling good though, because I'm taking care of me. But I'm starting to get mad because I'm waking up every day like, fuck, I gotta go to work.
So at what point did you start to gain the weight? Like, what was the window from you starting to gain the weight to you realizing, okay, it's time for me to get it together?
After my second divorce,
Okay.
once I told my second wife like I needed to be alone, because I was just a hot mess at that time. Just being in Korea, just being like I'm single out here, being selfish as hell. And I finally got to a point where I was just like, you know what? Like, I just need to isolate myself and figure out who I am and what it is that I want.
So you met your second wife in Korea?
No, I met her in New Mexico.
New Mexico. But were you guys together in Korea?
Yeah, we were together my first year while I was there.
Okay. And then how long were you guys together before you got a divorce?
3 years.
That number 3 just keeps coming up. Okay. So you said after your divorce or during your divorce is when you started to gain the weight, and you were going through a midlife crisis at the same time?
Yeah. I mean, after my second divorce, is like, this is when I'm alone. I don't have anybody to talk to. So my easiest replacement was food.
Were you still playing basketball?
Yeah, I was playing here and there. You know, the job was making it kind of difficult. I was just like in a very negative place. It was like everything was going against me. And then
all you did was go to work and you ate pizza, like you said in the video.
Right. And then I had my dream, and that's whenever I started working out. And then there was a balance. And then I started to see more. Like, this whole process was like, it was kind of dope. Like, just isolating myself and just figuring out what made me happy. And then, as I said, I was waking up every day, you know, mad I had to go to work.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I was still finding time to work out and take care of myself. And I remember going out one night and I stole a Grey Goose bottle off the countertop at the bar. For no reason, just being stupid.
How old were you?
I was 29.
Okay.
Yep. Being immature. And then I woke up. I was drunk. I woke up the next day to a phone call. It was a lady at the bar. We were good friends. She always hosted our after parties for our basketball tournaments. And she's like, Buddha, why you take the bottle? Why you take the bottle? And I was like, oh, man, I'm sorry. I was like, the bottle's right here. I don't know why. I was like, I'll be there in a little bit. And she's like, okay. So I literally got ready, got myself together, went to the shop at, bought another Grey Goose bottle. I brought her bottle back, and I got her an extra bottle just like to apologize. And that's when she had told me like security forces that already came by and they got the cameras and they got pictures of me and stuff. So I was like, you know, if they say anything, I probably just need like a recommendation letter or something. She's like, yeah, I got you. And then like 2 weeks later, they called me into investigations. They was like, you know why you're here? I was like, I think I got a good idea. So yeah, they tried to give me an Article 15 for it. I tried to, it's a bad thing.
Like a write-up or something?
Yeah, man, like a real bad write-up.
And it'll stay on your record?
Yeah. So then I go to her and I'm like, hey, can you write me a letter? She writes me like this really nice letter for me saying like I made it up. I apologize to her face to face and everything. I give it to my commander and they still say no. And they give me the article. They take a stripe away. So once they take the stripe away, I'm not able to test for staff.
Mm-hmm.
So at that point, I knew for a fact I'm getting out.
Mm-hmm.
So
it was a thought that there was something in you that was like, okay, I might continue because I can get another stripe, and then you become, you said, an officer, a higher rank.
Get a higher ranking, and then I can re-enlist for another 4 years and ultimately get to 20 years and retire. I had already did 10.
Right.
But then there was also that side of me was like, I need to get out and start doing something. 30 years old, if I want to play basketball, it's like now's the time.
Yeah. Okay, so we're going back to after midlife crisis, and now you've lost all this weight. How much weight did you lose?
I went from 270 to 215, and during that time, like I said, I had got that article, my strike taken away, so I got all the confidence I needed. I feel like God just kind of put His hand in. He's like, go this way.
Mm-hmm.
Don't think about military. Go this way. So that's how I took it. Like just being positive. I could have been negative during that whole process, but I was just like, you know what? I'm getting out. I'm really finna do this. So I locked in even more, man. Like even my guys at work, they were like, bruh, like Airman Boyd is on road status right now. I was like, road? What's road? They was like, man, you retired on active duty. It was like, really, it wasn't no disrespect to them. It was just, I was focused. I was ambitious. I was driven. Like I was, man, I was feeling great. And it had nothing to do with like military or firefighting. It was like basketball fitness.
This all came from a dream. Your motivation came from a dream. That mental switch came from a dream.
It came from God. It came from God. And then I feel like God kind of stuck His hand in and made a decision for me, because even after He spoke to me, I was still dealing with, do I do 20 or do I do something? And just, I don't know. I got in trouble. I got caught. I tried my best to like fight it. I had a great letter from the lady from the bar, and they were still like, no, I'm taking that stripe away. And I was like, bet.
So, okay, after all this, what is it called? You retire from the Air Force?
I separate from the military. Honorable discharge.
Okay. And you still have the Article 15 on your record? Your resume?
It's not like a criminal record. It's like a It's just a military record. That's
like a military resume, kind of. Okay. So, okay, now you're in the real world. You're what, 29, 30?
30 years old.
30 years old, and it's time for you to face what was not really left behind, but kind of just what you left. The work.
I wasn't even thinking like that. It was just like, whatever is ahead of me, let's go.
Okay, so what's the first thing you did? Where'd you go?
I went to Florida to see my best friend get married. And then I went to Texas, moved in with my parents, and just started working out, staying in my routine. And then I didn't have no plan. I just knew I had basketball in my heart. Reached out to a couple of my old high school friends that had some connections, and a good friend of mine got me hooked up to a ABA team that was in, what's it called? Odessa.
What's ABA?
American Basketball Association.
Okay.
It's the league that Dr. J had played in with the red, white, and blue ball. But it kind of like dissipated because the NBA took over.
Okay.
Yeah. But it's still around though.
So you started that after reaching out to one of your high school friends?
Yeah.
What was that like? How long were you part of this?
That was fun. That was my first time getting professional experience. Excuse me. We would travel to away games, kind of like reminiscent of high school days. Still talk to those guys today from that team. And we went to Arizona and played a team out in Arizona. They were more organized. The assistant coach, I knew he said he was going to be coaching that team next year. And I had a really good game against him. So he told me if I came out there as an opportunity to play with them, if I'm looking for one, I definitely was. I didn't want to be stagnant. So I moved to Arizona, and he helped me with having a place to stay, helping me find a job, and I ended up making the team. But that team was very political. So I was thinking about like just giving up on basketball. It wasn't paying the bills. And then I went to Camp Pendleton to play in a basketball tournament with Emmanuel Daniels, the guy I was telling you about in New Mexico. He was at Luke Air Force Base. He asked me to play with the base team at Luke and go to Camp Pendleton. I was still fresh out of the military, like 2 years out. So I still had my ID card was still valid. So I was able to play. I was able to get on base. And that's when the junior college, Coach Conahan, saw me playing and said that he was a fan. Where did you play? I said, man, I just got in the military. I'm just chasing my hoop dreams. So he got my number down, called me 2 days later. He's like, hey, you got 4 years eligibility. You should come out here and visit. Came out there, showed me the coast. We did some research on the 911, the GI Bill. Found out I was going to get like $2,200 for base housing, for housing allowance. And I was like, yeah, I'm moving here.
So you played with that coach for how long?
I played at Maricosta for 2 years. And
So
my second year, I got All-State, and that's when they did the news clip.
So you're 30 years old at a junior college.
33.
33 at a junior college, and you're playing men that are between ages of what 18?
18, 22, 23.
18, 20, 23.
Yeah.
Did they know that you were 33 years old?
Yeah. I asked one of the guys we played against, I was like, what was the scouting report on me? He was like, bro, they were saying like you were military, like you were this older guy, you're strong, you can get buckets. Like we were literally scared to guard you because we thought you could chop our neck off or something with the military training.
I think you got some PTSD or something.
Nah, not like that. They just like, you got military training. So if they would make me mad, I could like touch their neck and kill them if I wanted to. I was like, what?
The pressure point?
Yeah.
The elbow right in the neck.
Yeah. But yeah, that was I don't know. That was just for one school though. I don't know if everybody was like that.
So how long you were at this junior college for? What, 2 years?
2 years. I got All-State honorable mention my first year, and then All-State my second year.
Nice. What happened after that?
I transferred to Bethesda Christian University, and I got second team All-American over there.
Where's that?
That's in Anaheim.
Okay.
But then that's when I had my first $13,000 student loan off of that 1 year, and I was like, I can't do that again. Can't do that. And then an opportunity came to play in Hong Kong. I tried out for a team for a month, and I made the team. So I was like, you know what? This is what I want to do. I'm not going to do the college route. I don't even like school like that. So
you have your associate's degree from the junior college, and then you went to Anaheim to play for a team for a little bit.
Yeah.
Then you went to Hong Kong. What was that like?
Hong Kong was a dream come true. Just to know that basketball got me to Hong Kong at 36 years old. It was a sense of relief. you know, because it was so many people that doubted me. Even like, you know, the people that I hold closest to my heart.
Mm-hmm.
It was huge for myself. It was huge for myself because, you know, I've been dealing with confidence and trying to believe in myself for so long. And it's like I took a leap of faith at 30 years old in myself, and here it is. I got myself to Hong Kong. So it was a proud moment for myself. I had a lot of moments where I just went for a walk and I just cried on my own. Yeah, a lot of emotions and a lot of feelings. It was like so many years. It was good for me.
Being on that team, well, first of all, how many years were you on that team, and how did you guys do in that league? And what was the league called?
A lot of people don't even know this, but it was a tour team. It wasn't like a contract overseas deal or anything like that. You know, I wasn't over there for months. I was over there for 11 days. We didn't do so well. We got 5th place. Before I went, we tried out for a whole month. So I didn't know the guys that much. I only knew them for like 2 months. But like I said, that whole trip was more for me and my mental and my confidence. And that's what I took out of it.
So after realizing that you made it this far and that you kind of just always had to have your own back and be your own support system, and you made it all the way to Hong Kong without any type of, you know, handouts or anything like that, just from your own pure game and your personality and networking, you know, just being the person that you are.
Mm-hmm.
What happens after that?
I come back to California, and I just stay around the basketball space. And, you know, I'm starting to talk to my mom. More after I get my dream. I had cut her off for a little bit because, you know, she was saying a lot of negative things. So I'm talking to her more about my Hong Kong experience and stuff like that. And she's putting more pressure on me, you know. She's still being the Asian mom that she is.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, so what now? What are you going to do now? And I'm just like, I don't know, Mom. I just want to hoop. And then it just clicked. I was like, everybody wants to hoop. There's a lot of people that just want to hoop. Mm-hmm. So I started my own brand called I Just Want to Hoop.
How did that start? Did you reach out to anybody about, you know, creating shirts and getting the LLC? And how old are you? 36, 37 at this time?
I'm 37 at the time. I meet my boy Kimon, and Kimon becomes my manager, and he's just putting me on game on how to start a brand and what I'm supposed to do. But at the same time, it's like really hard to launch this brand because I have no money. Mm-hmm. I'm barely getting by. So I'm like working jobs. I'm trying to do this. I'm new to California. It was just like a lot was going on, and I couldn't put all my focus into my brand. Mm-hmm. So being out here in California, you know, there's a lot of opportunities out here. And from what I've learned from being out here, it's the people, you know, like just networking, getting to know people, even if it's just sharing an experience. You know, I learned a lot with branding, clothing branding, since I've been out here. You know, I definitely went through my trials and tribulations, my ups and downs, but you know, the biggest thing is to never quit. So I've learned a lot since I've been out here with this clothing brand, and I'm excited for what's coming to the future, the near future, which I ain't gonna say too much on yet.
Okay. Well, there's still some time though before we get to the future or even the present because you're 36. So we got 4 more years to talk about.
Hmm.
After you discover, your brand, and getting your LLC, things like that, and selling your clothes, what was it like selling your first?
It was awesome, man. The love that I was getting, people was loving the brand. There was, man, they just wanted to show love and support, and then COVID happened.
Mm,
And COVID happened, and it just kind of just stopped everything. And I try to use that time to reflect on life and where it is that I wanted to go. I try to reflect on the mistakes I made since being out here in California, and I just wanted to focus on making money so I could invest in myself.
where were you living at this point?
I was homeless at the time. With COVID happening, I was staying with someone in the living room,
Mhm.
but she also had a little daughter, and I didn't want to be the reason why they came down with COVID. And I had lived in my car before, so I was perfectly fine living out of my car. And then I had a good friend of mine like would let me stay at his place.
So when was the first year that you had to live out of your car? How old were you? Well, how old were you when you first you realized that you had to live out of your car?
When I first came to LA, I was like 30, 36.
Okay. What was the reason why you came to LA? This is when you left your mom's house?
Yeah, I mean, I went back home to regroup because things wasn't working out in Oceanside. And then a good friend of mine was staying out in LA. She was going to USC, and we had history. So I came out and was staying with her, but then things fell off. Things didn't work out between us. So I found myself in a situation where I didn't know anybody out here,
Mm.
and I didn't have anywhere to go. So I had to live in my car.
When you were 36.
Yeah.
Okay. And then from there, is that when you started to think about the brand, or was that before? The brand came when you were in Texas, right?
No, I got the brand whenever I was out here in California. It was after I came back from Hong Kong.
Okay.
So when I was first staying in LA, I was staying with her, and during that time is when I made the Hong Kong team.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And then after I made the Hong Kong team and I came back, we had already fallen off, so I ended up being homeless after that.
And then so who helped you the most to get your brand up?
Man, everybody, man. Honestly, it's just
Community effort?
I can't just point at one person. I mean, it's been a collect group of people. Kimon, my boy Anthony Camacho, Meta World Peace has helped me. My boy Lawrence, Nico from Venice Beach, he's tried to help me. Yeah, just to name a few. I probably forgot a few. You know, my memory be bad.
Yeah, same. But how did you get involved with all these people moving to California and living in your car? Did you just kind of pull up somewhere and started playing? Or did you meet somebody that got you introduced to this type of stuff?
It was basketball, man. It was all basketball space. Like I met all these people through basketball, and eventually you take time to get to know somebody. You see them so much, so you start sharing ideas, and you see what they're doing. So you try to find some mentorship. You share an idea here and there, and somebody grabs on. They try to help you out. So.
How did you meet Meta World Peace?
I met Meta World Peace through his X versus X app. I just went up there to play, and he just really liked my game. And I think somebody told him my age, and he just couldn't believe how old I was and playing how I was. And then heard about my brand. He's really big on mental health. So there was a day we were supposed to have like a hoop sesh out in the valley, and it was on his X versus X app. And I said I was gonna come. I ended up pulling up, and nobody showed up. And Meta and his son Ron come inside, and it's just us three. And you know what I'm saying? I think the biggest thing for people that want opportunities or are looking for opportunities is that you have to show up. So, blessing in disguise, I show up. Yeah, there's only three of us, but Meta's able to, put his focus on me now. You know what I mean? We're having a conversation, and it's like there's no other distractions. There's no other people like trying to talk to him. He's an ex-Laker champion. So anytime we go anywhere, everybody's always trying to talk to him. So now it's just us three. So now I'm telling him my story. I'm telling him where I'm coming from. I'm telling him how I got to this point, telling him about my brand. And he's able to like really engage with me. So great opportunity, great timing.
Everything happens for a reason.
Yeah. God's will,
Okay. So you guys start chopping it up, and you tell him about your brand. He likes it, and he decides to support you. And is it later on that you meet Nico, who is the CEO of the Hoop Boss?
Nico is. I meet him first.
Okay.
Before I meet Meta World Peace and any other big name celebrities, Nico was the first guy that put me on for real. Going to Venice Beach, playing with Chinese elite basketball. We ended up going undefeated that season. My first time playing in the VBL, and I made the All-Star team. And then he gives me the rebound award, the rebound machine award. And he's just like, bro, how do you do it, man? You're like 36 years old. You out here getting like 30 rebounds a game. Like, how do you do it, man? And I'm just like telling him like how passionate I am about the game and stuff. And we created a connection. And, him just seeing me out here grinding, being homeless, not asking for help. He knows I'm a genuine person, I guess. And he's been involving me more with like the Hoop Bus, because that's his creation, and like this Venice 5 team. Like we travel and we play in different places, and it's been giving me a lot of exposure. Not necessarily making me a celebrity, but he's helping me get noticed, more exposure, and the more exposure I get, the bigger my platform is, and then when I drop something on my brand, it connects to more people out there. So yeah, Nico was first, and Meta helps me also as far as getting the exposure.
Okay. So just a disclaimer, VBL stands for Venice Basketball League.
Yeah.
That's in Venice, California, Venice Beach, California.
Yep.
Is the city called Venice Beach or Venice? It's Venice.
It's called Venice.
Okay, yeah, Venice.
But
so
Venice Beach.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say Venice Beach. So those of you that don't know much about California, Venice Beach is a very popular beach in California, and there's a basketball court. Basically,
White Man Can't Jump was filmed there.
You said what?
White Man Can't Jump.
Yeah, yep. White Man Can't Jump was filmed there, and so there's basketball courts on this beach, and there's live bands, people selling things, and there's vendors, and there's a whole bunch of live interactions going on. A lot of networking, a lot of food. There's homelessness as well. It's just a lot of things going on there, and it can be a really happy place depending on what you're doing there. But so there was a league created called Venice Basketball League, and this had many hoopers involved, pro hoopers included as well, right? So it was very competitive, and Buddha was a part of that. And so that's how you met Nico, who was basically the head of this. And the Hoop Bus, what is the Hoop Bus? Can you explain that?
The Hoop Bus, if you haven't seen it, it was on an NBA commercial, the 75th anniversary. Michael B. Jordan was driving it. A lot of NBA players shot a shot on it. So there's a basketball goal on each end of the bus. And when you go inside of it, if you look on the ceiling, there's a lot of magazine pictures, a lot of just pictures in general, basketball cards of like WNBA players, NBA players, Kobe, Michael Jordan. Like, it's just all over. It's got a basketball bed, whatever basketball you can think, it's in there. Pillows that are basketball. There's a basketball, like little kids hoop in there for kids to play in. The ground is made out of hardwood, like a basketball court. It's just a basketball bus. And then when it pulls up, it's interesting because I've been part of the Hoop Bus for a while now. And anytime we pull up, wherever we pull up, people automatically forget anything that's going on. And they just want to watch people shoot, or they want to shoot themselves. So from what I've seen, what I've experienced, racism's out of the window. There's no justice or anything. It's just people just come together and just have a good time playing basketball. Yeah.
Just to show you guys real quick, this is the Hoop Bus, a bus that has basically a court connected to it, so they can travel anywhere around the world and play basketball in the street and involve the community and just playing basketball and having fun.
Mm-hmm.
It brought a lot of people together, and it's traveled everywhere, and everybody knows what the Hoop Bus is. So if you want to know more about it, just Google it, and there's a lot of information.
Right. We just took it across the border to Mexico not too long ago. That was a huge thing for Nico. That was huge for his bucket list.
Really, that's so dope.
Mm-hmm.
That's beautiful. I didn't know much about the Hoop Bus, but I definitely seen it before I knew about it, and about Nico, and kind of a little bit about his story through you. You're the one who told me about it, like who he is and things like that, which is dope. And the funny thing is, Nico's not even from America, is he?
No, he's from France.
He's from France, and he's all the way out here. That'd be another person, a good person to interview, talk about his journey. I didn't think about that. I'm definitely gonna hit him up.
Good luck, but yeah.
I know, I'm definitely gonna hit him up just to see. But that would be dope to hear about, his backstory and things like that.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so now that you kind of got yourself in there when it comes to networking and people knowing who you are, just from playing your game and just being a light in the Buddha that everybody knows and loves. So now that you are, in there and you have the networking and you played so many games and things like that, you're 36, so 37 to now. Take us through that little timeline.
This timeline is putting everything that I've learned and all my experiences, putting it all together. At the same time, still making money. I found my space in personal training. Just been building off of that, and that's just been very recent, and found like a lucrative amount of money coming my way. So now that I found a way to make money, now it's time to invest in myself. Mm-hmm. And I can't share with you I can't share with the people what it is that I'm doing. A wise man once told me, like, if there's anything that you're working on, it's best to be quiet. So share with whoever you want to share with, but be as quiet as you can be with it. So what's going on, because you're going to be one of my business partners, but everybody else, you guys have to wait and see, man.
That's so dope. Hey, wow, that was a story. That was a story. Just your whole backstory, and just seeing where you come from and how much you fought, and the ups and downs, the highs and the lows, and just you still having basketball, on your mind, and just putting, God and basketball together and letting that lead you, and finding your purpose, finding what you want to do, and also impacting other people while you're doing it, probably without even realizing, just from being the age that you are, and then playing basketball and being able to hang with the younger kids, or even doing better than the younger kids. Like, how does he do that? And then you're getting yourself into training others and things like that. That's like giving back to the community. I know you used to do like reffing and stuff like that. So even though you go through these hard times and it's difficult at times, you still are able to find the positive through that and to give back to others, whether that's through words or actions. That's really big. That's really inspiring. So, yeah, just want to let you know that. So I do have a couple questions for the younger people that might be watching. What advice would you give to a high school student athlete that is looking to go to college when it comes to mental and also just like being ready to play college ball? Or
a couple things. Like I would definitely let them know, like, there's no pressure. You shouldn't feel pressured to go into college, especially if you don't feel confident enough. My confidence came after college. It came like my first few years in the military, and I think I was like 21, 22. And if I could do it all over again, I would have probably would have worked, or maybe went to the military straight out of high school and did my 4 years, got out, and then went to college when my confidence was high, and then I had the benefits from the military. But if you're ready, I would definitely say, work hard, work every day. If your dreams are to become a professional basketball player, you made it this far. So don't fuck around. For real, it's so hard to get in college and play. I remember I got cut. I remember that feeling. And if you make it, it's a blessing. So take advantage of it. Realize that you got a blessing, and you get a free workout place. You get a free basketball gym to put up shots. You got a cafeteria that's making food for you. You have fruit.
Healthy.
Yeah, you got housing. So you have a perfect situation. Yeah. Don't fuck it up.
So giving your experience, for what advice would you give to somebody that is in college and looking to play pro?
In college, about to go to pro?
Or that wants to go to pro, what advice would you have for them?
Oh, yeah, I would definitely say it's weird because I would come at them a little differently, to where, I don't know, it gives them pressure. Like, do you know the people you can trust right now? I think that's the biggest thing when you're getting ready to be done with college and you're getting ready to be a pro. Yeah. Like, you really need to know who you are and the people that you have around you. You really need to know that, because first of all, you need to grow the fuck up. You're not in college no more. You're about to be a pro, and you're about to probably inherit a lot of money, and the people around you need to be people that you trust, because if you don't trust them, they'll take advantage of you. And you can find yourself in a very, very, very bad situation real quick.
Facts. How long do you want to continue to play basketball at this level? Because I know, just for a disclaimer, you guys, I know Buddha personally. Buddha is my brother. Like, we're we're like this. That's the bro. And there's not many people that I trust in the world, and he's definitely one of them. So I know his whole story, but I'm acting like I don't, just in case, people have questions. So it's, interview, podcast, whatever. But Buddha still goes and he plays. You can call him and he'll be at the gym in 1.2 seconds. Doesn't matter how far it is. He's there. This man canceled a date to go play basketball. So that just tells you, like, hey, basketball been there for him his whole life, and nobody goes before that. Besides,
I'm very unapologetic when it comes to me and basketball. Yeah, like I said, a lot knows me. A lot of people might not agree. Basketball has been there for me like no other. I know a lot of people have, family members and close friends and stuff. Like I have all that. But I mean, even them at one point in my life, basketball was in my heart and they tried to take me away from it. It's no disrespect to them. I know they wanted the best for me, but I'm the only one that knows what's best for me. So, yeah, I don't know where I was going with that.
It's my fault. I was about to ask you a question. I was saying that just to tell the viewers that Buddha still plays as much as he can, and he'll hop on a team and go do some runs, and it doesn't matter what time it is. It's 9, 10, 11 at night or early in the morning, like he's there with it. So my question is, how long do you want to continue this route of playing basketball at a competitive level?
I'm playing till my motherfucking wheels fall off. Right? It's my sense of happiness. I don't know. It drives me every day to wake up and work out and remain a healthy lifestyle so I can continue to play. And it makes me happy living like this. A lot of people are like, damn, bro, like you still eating strict and you still working out and stretching. And it's like, yo, I'm 41 and I don't have any back issues. I'm 41 and I'm like extremely happy my mental is taken care of. My mental is strong. I'm very, very happy and very proud of that. So yeah, man, I have basketball to thank for that. All this mental, my physical fitness, the way that I am, a lot of it is because of basketball. So I'm gonna play it.
I don't blame you, man. Is there any saying or action or phrase that you live by, something that you tell yourself often? Keep going.
Yeah. It's one that I came up with. It's one that I always live by from my experiences. Don't let life change you. Let you change you so you don't have to change your life.
Is that it? Say it again.
Don't let life change you. Let you change you so you can change your life. That's what it is. Don't let life change you. Let you change you so you can change your life. Not life. Because everybody knows when life comes and it hits us, it's like, damn.
Mm-hmm.
And it'll change you. It'll change you. So take control of your life. You can change it.
That is super big. So do you believe that everybody has a purpose? And if so, what's your purpose?
Yes, I believe everybody has a purpose. My purpose, I believe, is the mental health awareness space. It's to help the mentally weak in all aspects, not only with them, but the supporters around them.
Mm-hmm. That's really big. Mental health is extremely big.
Right now it is, yeah.
And I want to go back to something because there's something you said that kind of stuck out to me. And when you said that your family didn't really understand basketball and how important it was to you, and they wanted you to stop. But that was the whole reason why you kept going. Can you kind of touch on how important it is to just do what you know is best and not worry about what people say? Because had you worried about, what other people said, or you let all the pressure of what your mom, put on you, just because she, as a mom should, she wanted to push you. If you let that kind of take over, then you wouldn't be where you are now. But how do you stay so strong mentally? And how do you stay focused and have that tunnel vision on what you want?
Well, I think first you have to identify like why the mentality, and I think we all have a sense of wanting to belong. So my mom is my mom, like I love my mom. I want my mom to love me. Mm-hmm. So whatever she says, it's gonna hit me 10 times harder. It's like,
right.
You're right. Like I don't want you to be mad at me. I don't want you to like disown me. Mm-hmm. I want to belong to you. You're my mom. So whatever she said, basketball's not a career. In my heart, I love basketball. I like playing it. Mm-hmm. But yeah, my mom I love is telling me like, you can't play basketball. It's not a career job. So in my mind, I'm like, I can't do it like that. I can't do it. It's a tough place to be in mentally, especially as a child growing up. And I think, like I said, you have to allow your kids to experience those emotions and those feelings towards whatever it is. If they fail, if they really are passionate, if they really do want to do it, they'll mm-hmm. get up and they'll keep trying, they'll push past the failure. But if it's something that they don't really want to do and they're not passionate about it, they won't want to do it. And I don't like that. Yeah. My daughter, perfect example, I wanted her to play basketball. She liked playing defense. She was getting into it. And then there was one time she fell and she fractured her hand. Mm. So that's not for me. She don't like that getting hurt. That was you, not me.
Yeah, sorry. So you said she fractured her hand and she was just like, I'm done.
Yeah, like that's it. Like there was a point where she got to a point where she failed with basketball. She got injured, and the best availability is you have to be available. Like she wasn't available. She didn't like that feeling. She didn't like the feeling of being hurt. She's like, this ain't for me. So I didn't put no pressure on her, but she got to experience. She was starting to like it, but she got to a point where there was something where she failed and she could come back stronger, but she was like, nah, this ain't me.
Well, I'm glad that she was able to realize, that wasn't for her. And some kids, they feel a need to please their parents because my mom did this and my mom was so good at this. And so I want to do it because just to make her happy.
Right.
It seems like, your daughter was raised to have her own opinion and just have her own say in things that she wants to do with her life. So that's really big, especially at a young age, just knowing you have that freedom to say, hey, Dad, I tried it. It's not for me. Right. And then you as a father, just accepting that, say, okay, you don't have to be like me. Please try. Mm-hmm. You try to play basketball. It wasn't for you. It's cool. And like you said in the beginning, clearly your actions are, they back up your words when you say, let kids decide for themselves. And every loss is a lesson. She didn't really lose anything, but she learned, hey, nah, not this. So what does she do? What does she do now? What is she into?
She graduated from high school and now she's attending Washington State University studying psychology.
That's amazing. That's so amazing. Okay. Well, what's something that you would tell your younger self? If you were to go back in time.
Bruh, I would keep it so simple. I would just be like, bro, you're dope as fuck, bro.
That's support.
Yeah, like you're so dope, bro. Whatever you want to do it, man.
Yeah. You wasn't lying. It was short. That's it. All right. So this video is going to be on YouTube forever. And what is something you would tell future you 10 years from now? Now you're 51. What would you tell yourself? The 51-year-old Buddha goes back and is like, let me go see that video still on YouTube when I was talking a lot. Let me go see. And then you kind of skip to 1 minute and 40 seconds.
So if I could talk to my 51-year-old self,
yeah,
what would I tell myself?
Yeah.
I probably wouldn't tell myself. Knowing my selfish ass, I probably asked.
Okay.
I probably asked something.
What'd you say?
You got a family?
Is that it? That's it.
Yeah, man. I mean, I love the grind. Don't get me wrong. Like, I love my life and this journey that I'm on. But 10 years from now, 51, I'm hopeful that I'm successful with my ideas, and I found somebody to partner with, and we're raising a child, our own little family. I missed out a lot of years with my daughter.
Mm-hmm.
I'm happy and thankful. My daughter's mom was amazing, and she carried most of the burden. I don't want to call it a burden. It's not a burden. She stepped up and did most of the raising while I was struggling trying to figure out myself and my own mental issues. But at that time, at 51, I feel like I'll be in a very great space, and I would love the opportunity of like raising a child from infant to adulthood.
It's beautiful. This is the very last question. What's something that you want viewers to take from this interview or podcast?
Man.
Somebody watched this and they walked outside and they saw their friend like, hey, yo, I just listened to this man named Buddha. That man 41 and he's still playing basketball. And he said, like, what would it be?
I want everyone to just understand, like, your happiness is your own responsibility. Right? If you're not happy and you find yourself not able to switch it and make yourself happy, that's a problem. That is a huge problem. Like I said, if you don't know how to make yourself happy, I would definitely suggest isolating yourself and figuring yourself out and understanding that control what it is that you can control. If it's a problem, if it's a disagreement, it's a confrontation, you can control those things. Fix it. One thing at a time. It doesn't have to be all in one day. I know confrontations, uncomfortable conversations can be difficult, but somebody's got to start. You know what I mean? You got to heal yourself. Don't let that person have control over you. You're in control of your own happiness. So have that uncomfortable conversation. Say what it is that you have to say. If they don't accept it, if they don't receive it, just let them go. You're talking to them for yourself, for your own happiness. You're controlling your own happiness. If you can't control it, just let it go, man. You can't control how people feel about you. You can't control what people say about you. They're going to say whatever the fuck they want to say. Don't let it have an effect on you. You can't control that. Just let that person go. You got other people that like love you and care about you 110%. And I bet you those people won't say bad things about you.
That is huge. Just to let people go and also to forgive people, not for them, but for you. To just have that freedom to gain other knowledge and learn other things about yourself that you can use in your future or even in your present. Because a lot of people they live life trying to please others and not know or not notice that they're, a people pleaser, and they find themselves very unhappy trying to make other people happy, but you're the only one that's living your life. So it goes where you want it to go. It goes how you direct it. And if you live your life trying to please others and make their lives better, then you'll be miserable. So just do you, put yourself first, be selfish about you. It's really big. And also isolating yourself. I know for me, I'm in Spain right now, but I've been playing overseas for 3 years. And that's still like kind of a rookie, pro life. I mean, the professional lifestyle. But I learned a lot about myself just by being alone. I learned that I love to be alone. And I also learned that I have to do certain things in order to keep myself happy. I can't just sit around and do nothing. But I learned that I'm even more creative than I thought. And I can, put things to life that were once only lived in my mind. So if you isolate yourself and just have that alone time and get to know yourself way more, you'll be able to find out what you tolerate and what you don't want to tolerate. And just don't ever be afraid to say no without having an explanation. Some people they say, no, I don't want to, or, oh no, maybe sometime, another time, or they don't really just say no without having an explanation. You don't have to explain yourself to anybody. Just say no.
Right. Straight up. I think there was a YouTube clip we was talking about with the Asian dude. And I think he said it best. It's like when people hurt you and you always feel like, it's them that have to apologize to you because you didn't do anything to them. Mm-hmm. And it's like when you actually sit down and you think about it, it's like you're apologizing because you allowed yourself to change and be somebody that you wasn't. So you have to take accountability for that, because when somebody hurts you, it has an effect on you. Mm-hmm. So then whatever you do after that, if it's like not talking to them because you're avoiding the confrontation, you have to take accountability for that. Like, what that person did made me change. And I decided to change, not because that person did something. I made that decision to change. Like, I could have been myself. I could have blocked that energy out. Mm-hmm. I could have blocked that person out. But I decided to take that energy in and be negative with it. So you have to take accountability for that. And when you start with that, with the conversation, I think everything else will come out. Because I know, talking to my biological father, mm-hmm. I wanted an apology so bad. But it's like whenever you apologize and take accountability for your actions, it helps the other person bring down their window and apologize for their actions.
Yeah. But what would you apologize to your father about? You were so young.
I'm sorry that I took so long, I pushed him away for so long. I blamed him for a lot of things. And a lot of things wasn't even his fault. It was real easy for me to point the finger at him. So, big thing I apologized to him was just blaming him for everything.
It's funny that we talk about change right now, because I recently, earlier today, I saw this quote, or I think somebody said it, or it was from that interview that I watched the other day. But the quote is, don't change who you are, change who has access to you. Mm. So that hit me, because I was like, dang, people, you grow up being who you are based off of what you see and the influences you have. You take a little bit of kind of everything and you put it into one, and that creates you. You're not just, this or that, but everything that you have access to, you kind of take a little bit from it, and that's who you are. But when we try to please others, like I said earlier, or when we just try to fit in, we become somebody else and we change who we are. And so the quote says, don't change who you are, change who has access to you. If nobody, the way I look at it, and this is the reason why I cut off a lot of people in my life, if you're not helping me become a better person, if I'm not elevating, if you're not helping me elevate, if we're not having conversations that are educational where we can feed off of each other's thoughts or something like that, then I don't need you in my life. If you're only here to be toxic and cause drama and to gossip, then I don't need any of that negativity in my life. It's not going to help me anything. So then I just kind of learned to cut people off, and people, they don't like that. And they notice like, hey, where you been? You know, we don't talk as much. And I also had to tell myself, just be upfront, you know, just like I just say no without an explanation, be upfront, be blunt with people. I say, you know, you weren't giving me anything. There's nothing I can learn from you. So us being friends was temporary. I don't want to move on in life being friends with you because there's nothing that you can give me, and there's really nothing that I can give you because we want two separate things. I want to elevate, and you want to stay stagnant and gossip and be toxic and just kind of be miserable and complain about your life. Well, I want to look at the positive things in my life, despite of what I've been through, and move forward. So that's just something I have to do, drop a lot of people, and a lot of them are family members. A lot of them are family members. People think that just because we're blood, we're siblings, or we're whatever, cousins, blood is thicker than water, whatever that means, it means nothing to me because somebody can be your blood and betray you more than a stranger on the street would. Or a stranger on the street can give you more loyalty than your own sister, brother, cousin, auntie, or whatever. So it has nothing to do with genetics. It has a lot to do with loyalty and trust. So just remember that blood ain't thicker than water.
Yeah, just the same way we make choices, other people make choices too, man.
Yeah.
And you gotta accept people for the truth that they show you who they are, man. Like you said, family members, we try to make excuses and stuff like that for them because they love, the family love and stuff like that. Nah, accept their truth, bro. Like my biological father, he's my father. You know, I want to give him so many chances. I gave him chances. But, you know, I got to a point where it's like, you know, I'm going to accept this truth. You know, they don't want to be a part of my life, man. So I got to accept that.
If they want to leave, let them go. And never stay where you're not wanted. All right, Buddha. Well, if there's not anything else you'd like to add to this podcast.
I just want to say I think you're so dope doing this, getting stories from other people, being able to share their stories on your platform is tremendous. We're in this era now where people need to hear people's stories and they need to have access to other people's stories so they can get wisdom. They can get guidance for themselves. I wish I had a platform like this to look at whenever I was younger and my biological mother and my stepfather didn't have like the guidance to give me or the words, but I definitely could have looked it up and streamed it and just got my insight on stuff like this. So I think it's amazing what you're doing. I hope you keep going with it, and you guys should support her, man. You ain't doing it.
Appreciate you. Yeah, I think it's important to, you know, shine our light on the youth, not even just the youth, just everybody, because it's not just kids watching. This is the education of life, period. Right. Not only just professional basketball or military or the Air Force or just being a person, but this is education on life and what we've been through and the lessons we've learned. So imagine being at a young age and knowing what we know now, you'd be so much better off, you know. So that's what we're doing this for, to help everybody else. And you said you didn't figure your life out until you were 30 years old, right? Yeah. You didn't know what was going to happen to you. And society puts so much on us. I call it the system of age, where like 15, you have to have your permit, 18, your driver's license, and you got to graduate high school, 22, graduate college, 24, be in your career, have your job, be making this much money,
The American
24
dream.
to 30 kids, and own a business, and then where's the properties? And America, period, just puts so much on people. And it's just the pressures of, okay, you're 18. Oh, you're 26. You don't have a baby yet? Or you're not married? Or where's your man? Like somebody can be single until they're 40 years old and they can be working on themselves compared to somebody that felt like they were forced to be in a relationship. And you look at their mental, and the 40-year-old has a clear mental and knows what they want to do in life compared to somebody else who's kind of forced into a relationship, letting the system of America get to them and being through traumatic relationships, 3, 4, 5 of them, just because they're thinking, oh, I'm 26, I should be with somebody, or I'm 25, I'm supposed to have a man, or I'm this age, I should be working here, rather than thinking for themselves and living their own lives. Everybody's different, and we all have different mental processes, and we all have different lives, and age is nothing but a number. So it doesn't matter where you start, just as long as you start. Period.
What'd you say? What was that one? Doesn't matter if you start, just as long as you start.
Doesn't matter where you start, just as long as you start.
Where you start, just as long as you start. I like that one.
Appreciate you. That's straight off the dome.
Yeah, I could have a whole conversation about why it took me so long to start. And it's just like how the whole system is set up for us. The American dream is like it's a cover up. Yeah, it's deep. It's real deep.
Mm-hmm. And especially being overseas, a lot of people think like where you from? Like America. Oh, America. Oh my God, I want to go to America. Superstars, Hollywood. And they hear all this, and it's just like, oh, you don't know the truth. You see what you see on TV and on social media, but there's a truth to everything. There's like people's lives. You might see them dressed up or at work, and they look their best, and they feeling good, looking good, smelling good, but you didn't see them when they first woke up. You didn't see how what the process was like from waking up, getting straight out of bed to getting ready and walking out the door and arriving at work. You didn't see that. Right. But you compare yourself to what they look like now, and that's the same for athletes. Me and you were talking about this earlier. When kids compare themselves to LeBron James and Kyrie Irving, and I want to do this, I want to be like LeBron, I want to be like, because that's what you see, but you have not put in the work, the years of work and skill development and all of the mental battles that LeBron.
I'm gonna put it in my terms. I'll be guarding them. I'll be having somebody on my team. They be trying to do some stuff, and I'll be like, "Bro, what you doing?" Turn the ball over. Be like, "What you doing?" Man, Kyrie Irving be doing it, and I'll be like, "Bro, you just compared yourself to Kyrie Irving." No, that's Kyrie Irving. He can do stuff like that. Like, you didn't put in the work, the blood, the sweat, the tears.
He ain't been alive long enough.
Come on, bro. Like, yeah, that's man, huge problem to this day.
It's that mental.
I got people in 24-hour fitness talking about shooting half court shots. Steph Curry does it. And you comparing yourself to Steph Curry, bro. You're not putting up 2,000 shots a day. You're not doing that.
Man, and that in itself is a lot. Like not just 2,000 shots, but like makes, like consistent. A lot goes into that. Aim, math, like
time,
strength,
time,
structure, forward.
Time, like making 100 shots. Like, I don't care how good of a shooter you are, it still takes a lot of time to make 100 shots.
And it burns. Shit.
Yeah. Shoulders, yeah.
After 50, I'm like, I feel it now.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we did shoot some of that. He's like, oh, all the time.
Yeah, all the time. I wish I was ambidextrous.
Well, it makes you appreciate Steph Curry a lot more. You like, damn, that nigga be putting up 1,000 shots.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Yeah, and he's at the highest level. Just look at that mental, the mental status on that. Like, he's at the highest. The man's getting.
He's the greatest shooter of all time. Greatest shooter of all time.
And he's still elevating. That just tells you like you're never gonna be perfect. You're never gonna reach your full potential, honestly, until
That
you
means don't be shooting half court shots from 24-hour fitness thinking you Steph Curry. That's what that means.
okay, you gonna show this video to the dudes at the gym? Like, hey, watch
For
this.
real.
Skip to 159. Just
Bro,
watch this.
I'm telling you, man, it should be so funny as soon as they say that. Whenever they compare themselves to a pro,
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, you're not him though. Like, you don't do that.
Just because you got his shoes on does not mean it's like Mike. You're not about to be.
That's my biggest thing. Like, don't do shit that you don't do. Like, I think that's the biggest thing I could tell somebody that's trying out for a professional team. Like, know what you're good at,
Know your role.
and show them that. Like, don't do anything that you're not good at because you're gonna look stupid out there. Right? If you're a shooter, show them that you're a shooter. Don't try to show them that you can create and be a playmaker because that's probably not your game.
Mm-hmm.
If you're both, then okay, show them I'm a playmaker and I can shoot. Show them that. But if you're just a shooter, you do a shot fake and you dribble one time and pass it.
Yeah.
And move it out the ball until you can get that shot off. Show them that you're a shooter.
Yeah. That's the same thing that Boz said. That was an interview that I recently posted, but pro hooper named Boz, he's in Lebanon right now. But what he said was, if you're gonna be good at something, choose that and be the best at it. You know, doesn't matter. You trash man, be the best trash man. Be the best nail man. Be, you know, whatever it is. Choose that and be the best at it. Know your role and just really execute.
Right.
Be the best at it that you can be. Because you can't.
If you want to get good at something else, that's fine too. But be the best at what you're good at first, and then you can start expanding your game.
Yeah. Like, what's your thing, Buddha? What are you good at?
I'm a hustle man. I'm the trash man. I'm really good at doing like the little things that people don't see. Like, even if I have a good scoring game, I'm still able to do like the little intangible things, diving on the floor, communicating on the court, getting an offensive rebound, setting a screen, or, you know, making that extra pass whenever I could have been selfish and shot that motherfucker.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
IQ up there.
You know?
Sure.
I can do pretty much everything now at this age and still being able to function and move my body the way I am. Mm-hmm. With my IQ. Like, I can pretty much do everything on the court now. But yeah, the main thing that I do the best is the trash man shit.
Is there something that you want to work on your game, something you want to focus?
I'm always trying to work on my leadership abilities. Always trying to work on that. With the way younger kids are coming in, and like, I'm 41 now. Like, being a leader back then when I was in the military as compared to now, it's totally different. You know, guys are more sensitive. Guys feel like they have a voice now. Like, you can't just talk to them and, hey, I'm the leader, I'm the captain, you do as I say. That was back in the military. Like, I had my stripes, I had, you know, I earned my name. So whatever I said, people just respected it. Now it's like you have to articulate how you talk to them, you know. Not so much as, yo, you need to rebound more. Be like, hey man, we can rebound better, right? You know.
Oh, that kind of pisses me off. I'm sorry. Like, it just, it really grinds my gears that the world is becoming so soft, and that a child can, or anybody can just like really make a coach lose their job over, you know, a small situation because people complain about it and somebody doesn't want a certain type of reputation for their school. Somebody can lose their job.
Or a kid transfers from one school to another because it's always the coach's fault.
Yes, like that's so crazy to me.
I hate it. I hate it as well. It teaches bad habits.
Yes,
they start doing that to relationships. Start going from one girl to another girl, and it's never their fault. Like, the root of the problem is the person that keeps bouncing everywhere.
Exactly. When I was in college, I had because I basically played in college for 6 years because I had 2 red shirts, basically, because tore my ACL, whatever, long story. But anyways, there was this, I noticed, like, I don't want to say the IQ, but the passion behind basketball, how it just was less and less the more, the players came in. And I was able to see that, and it was just really sad because when I first came in, it was like we'll go hard. We go, you gonna learn from this. The teammates would smack the shit out of me, and I'd be like, not going to court, not fight back type thing. And there was this one time we were scrimmaging, and it was like not even practice. We were just scrimmaging for fun against my teammates. And one of the freshmen, I was a senior. One of the freshmen told me, "You're being too aggressive." And then she went to I said, "Girl, I'm not being aggressive. I'm the biggest person in this league. If you can play against me, you can play against anybody. I'm not about to be easy on you. Because how are you going to get better?" She didn't want to hear that. It's okay. I told her anyway. She went and told the coach. One of the coaches came to me and said, "Hey, La, maybe you should apologize. Her feelings are hurt." You got fucked up. Are you stupid? Like, no, I'm not apologizing for going hard. And you know what? She didn't play pickup anymore after that. And then we get into the season. She's playing against girls, not my size, but up there with me, bigger than her. And she get knocked around, getting beat up. Yeah. And I was looking like, interesting. Like, that's really sad. And I just had to think like, yo, this is crazy. My coach had to talk with me. He was like, you got to talk to these girls differently now. Maybe not be too aggressive. I'm like, aggressive? I'm straight to the point. If you're not going to rebound, if you're not doing your job, I'm going to let you know. And I expect the same for myself. If I'm not doing my job, you would let me know. I'm not going to come up here and talk to you like a child. You're 18.
The funny thing is, like, your intuition was not your intuition. What you're really trying to do is make her better. That's the funny thing. Like, she feels attacked and threatened, and your intentions is, I'm trying to make you better.
Yeah, that's it.
If you feel attacked, I'm your teammate. Like,
and she's a freshman. Like, you don't even know what to expect here. I'm telling you what's gonna happen.
Right. That part. I mean, that's just like how I told you, like how I went to my New Mexico base, and there was one person that was better than me. And instead of being weak-minded and weak, I took it upon myself, and I was just like, I'm guarding this nigga every single day. If I want to get better, this guy's better than me. He's gonna help me get better, at least defensively. You know what I mean? I think a lot of kids nowadays is that they forget there's two sides to the ball. Everybody always sees highlights. Yeah. They're always seeing Kyrie doing highlights, seeing Steph Curry doing highlights, Trae Young, Luka, all these scoring highlights. It's never like defensive highlights. People aren't looking up defensive highlights. So they're just all worried about one side. I'm just like, man, I saw this dude like scoring at will left-handed, and I'm just like, man, I'm finna lock this nigga up guarding every single day. I just wanted to be a better player. I wanted to be the best player at every base. I wanted to be that nigga. So if there was somebody better than me, I'm guarding him.
It's me and you, baby.
Huh?
It says me and you, baby, what I want.
Yep. When I got to Kunsan, I knew I was the best one. So, and everybody else there knew I was the best one. That was my first year in Korea. My second and third year, I had to go to Osan. So when I was at Kunsan, Osan was like a rival Air Force base in Korea. And Osan had this dude named Ollie Bradley, who had been playing on the all Air Force team for years. So anytime we played against him when I was at Kunsan, I was trying to beat them. It was just a personal vendetta, and O didn't even know. Like, I gotta beat them, and we were beating them. We beat them in tournaments, and we were the better team, the Kunsan team. Probably the best team I played for. No, not probably. Definitely the best team I played with in the military was that Kunsan team for 1 year. And then when I got to Osan, Ollie was still there, and I guarded him every single day. And I remember it took me about 3 or 4 months to actually get his game down. And he did the move. It was like a move that he did that made me spin around the first time I guarded him. And he got a shot off and made it. I was like, oh, shit. That's elite. That was an elite move. Right?
On the highlight.
It was a simple fundamental move. he caught it, and I was on a closeout. He hit me with a pump fake, with a hard jab, one dribble step back, boom.
Oh.
Yeah, so when he jabbed, I went that way, and then when he stepped back, I spun all the way around, and I was going to meet him at the goal because I thought he was going to jab and go hard left to the basket.
Mm-hmm.
He went left. He took one dribble and stepped back. So I went, and he stepped back. I was like,
Gotcha.
got me.
Where is he now? Do you when's the last time you spoke to him?
I talk to him on Facebook here and there, like every once in a blue moon. I do keep dubs on him. I think he's in Arizona with his family right now. He's still involved with the All Air Force team. He's like coaching and stuff.
Wow, that's dope. And the All Air Force, I forgot to ask you this, but that just means like kind of like the All American, like the highest of like the Air Force basketball league. Okay.
Yeah, besides the actual university, this is another top team in military aspect, at least. You have like intramural basketball, then you have base team basketball, then you have the All Air Force or All Military basketball, and then the number one that people try to go to are the universities, but you have to be a cadet.
Oh, okay. Wow. Yeah. That's what's up.
Yeah.
Learn something new every day.
I mean, that was everything, man. And been on here for 2 hours. People have to watch this for 2 hours.
Oh, you're not the only 2-hour conversation that I have.
Nah?
No, not at all. Not at all. When it comes to basketball and life, we just kind of go and we talk. So that's why I say podcast, not really an interview. The interviews are quicker. It's just like a podcast of life experiences, period. So.
Well, this one you might have to make a part 1 and a part 2.
Oh no, this all going to YouTube. Rather not push in broadcast, it's gonna be on YouTube. It's on YouTube right now, pretty much.
Oh yeah, that's right. It's a live stream.
Yeah. People just deal with it. It is what it is. If they want the real gems to life, they gonna listen. I ain't worried about it. It's out there. Yeah.
All right. Well, shit, I'll go to your channel. I'll start sharing it.
All right. Well, I'm gonna post it. I'll let you know when I post it. There's a couple. I only posted 2. I think I have like 8 or 9. So I'm gonna post like 2 every week or something like that.
I'm surprised I ain't had to go to the restroom in this 2 hours. As much water I've been drinking. Love it. It's starting to hit me now though.
Well, good thing we done. All right, bro. Once again, thank you so much for coming on and sharing your experience and being like totally transparent, because a lot of people, they, you know, maybe sometimes you just don't want to share certain things about life, but you literally told us every single thing. And I appreciate you for being real, because a lot of people out there that are still going through things right now as we speak, and they're going to need to hear this. So I appreciate you on that. And I'm excited for your project coming up.
Yeah, man. Be in contact with you.
Yeah, I can't talk too much about that, but we can definitely, you know, later on this year, talk about it. And
yeah, if y'all want a part 2,
yeah,
hey, bring that nigga Buddha back. I want to see part 2.
Yeah, part 2 definitely gonna have to happen regardless. For sure.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
All right, Law. My smile is better than yours.
Don't think so. Well, eyes are definitely tighter, so you got that one. Your eyes are definitely tighter. I used to get made fun of for my. But yeah, you got a close vision in it.
Yeah, man.
All right, before Buddha starts getting tired, we can.
All right, Law.
All right.